Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is XT Donkey. I've just recently picked up the new test ride for the day. It is a very nice VFR800X Crossrunner.
Incoming!
This bike was provided by Belfast Honda, who kindly provided the bike. Probably one of the more commuter friendly bikes. So this is my review of this bike. This bike has been on my watch list for a while now. It was put on the watch list severely after the Tracer. It was put on after the Tracer, as in the same category as it. But this is boasting all the Honda bells and whistles. This bike comes with like a perfect pipe, sat nav here, TomTom Rider sat nav, and the top box to match, which I'll be showing you later on in the video. First impressions of the bike: very roomy. The seat is on the lowest position. Is really nice, really smooth. Of course, these bikes are boasting the legendary Honda VTEC engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a nice place, and we're going to have a look at this bike because it's nice. It's a nice bike. It's like colour. The colour red in this is actually really good. I'm more of a blue bike kind of guy, but I do like red. Like, I mean, there's what, just in the 2,500 RPM, cruising at like 20 mile an hour, and there is no surging. There is no I want to go, let me go. Nice throaty sort of growl off the can as well. Gear changes are nice. They are very sort of definite. Come on. What I found with the Tracer was it was very lifeless. This seems to have a, it's a, what would you call it, an edge. It has an edge to it. I like the dash. All the gobbins. Tells you everything you really need, I think. Heated grips are heating up rightly here. It feels like definitely feels like a mile cruncher. It could crunch miles. We shall find that out. We're going to cover a good load of miles today, so I mean, look at that. 15 mile an hour in second. I mean, there's not even I would say a fire out of place. Not me rocking back, that's me accelerating by accident. I'm not going to start fiddling with traction control because that's a whole different ball game for me. I think what's going to be unique about this test ride is the great Northern Irish weather is coming into play today. So nice, and how would you explain it? It's like stable. It's not giving me any jip with the speed. It's not, I mean, it's silky smooth. It has the capability of getting out of the way. It's hard to explain, you know. I can do that and it's away, you know, it's gone. It's great. So for a nice drive, we'll go to Isle of Magee, I think, and then take you into Belfast, do the Belfast test. I am liking it so far. Get me wrong, it's a nice bike. It's got bags of character. I've heard people actually saying that it's too heavy. A little bit top heavy, but I mean, it handles its weight. You know, it's not a bike that's struggling. Nice and steady. Turn the heated grips on. Heated grips actually work really well. Very nice seating position too. It's comfortable, giving you sort of, you can sit for a good flatter hours on this, I'd say. Now, as you all know, I'm pretty short and I do have a problem with putting my foot on the deck. And with the windy conditions today, I'm actually confident to put my foot down on one side and just hold it. Where if it was on the Tracer, I would be putting both feet down and leaning towards the wind and all that lovely stuff. I mean, there you go, there's 40 mile an hour, just over 3,000 RPM, and no dramatic chugging, or corners are nice. The bike feels fairly planted, so it does, to the extent that you get a nice swoop on in the corners. It's still comfortable, you're not wrecking yourself. Braking is very responsive. Sometimes you get a bike that you can't feel the suspension, but the suspension's on that well, you're getting the feedback without getting interference, and I think that's key with bike setups. If you're getting the interference through, you're going to ruin the bike itself. And with this, it is giving me what I would call the bits to worry about. You know, the bits on the road that you should be watching out for anyway, but you know, like risen bits and stuff. But it's killing the noise of the road, but also it's keeping me from being juddered to death. I think if I had the room for this, I would have it. Yeah, I would say that. I would go out on a limb and say that I would actually have this if I had the room. I mean, pull the brake, and I'm not even pressuring the brakes heavily, but I'm getting a good amount to put on. There, even better. Braking with one finger. How responsive the brake is to have it done on one finger. I mean, there we are, 3,500, 40 mile an hour. Absolutely stable. No surging. 35. One finger. And still one finger. And stop. That is actually really good. Honda really hit the head with this one. In that, I know the Tracer was the bargain. Your bargain basement, you know, standard. There's a price list for all the bits, but I mean, you have to admit Honda's offering a bargain. It's brand new for the 2015 model. Is if I'm wrong, I'll put it in the bottom as usual. Oops, sorry, you got a bit distracted. For the 2015 model, with the can, the top box, and the TomTom Rider sat-nav, is 10 grand. It's in the 10 grand range. Why wouldn't you pick this over the Tracer? I mean, with all the stuff that they give you, you are basically ready for touring. You can basically just buy the bike, book the boat, and go. A lot of people say the clutch is a bit heavy, but I think a heavy clutch makes it for me especially, it makes it easier to find the bite mark. You can give it the wee bit of clay. It is a hydraulic clutch, which I've been contemplating moving to a hydraulic clutch for a while now, just for reasons that they're given that this one especially is making me think about it more. It's more of a, you know, instant bite. You know, you can set it where you like it. This bike actually, I know I referred to the Tracer, but this bike actually does have a lot of character. It's undescribable character that it's two people. You know, it's the nice calm commuter under 7.5 or 7,000 RPM. As soon as you hit that sort of VTEC area, it is back to snarling beast, and it would actually claim that it would keep up with most, if not everything, that you want to keep up with. Like, I mean, it's inspiring confidence in me, but I'm thinking about it from a commuter's point of view. I'm not your Sunday runner who just goes out and chews up a tire, you know. I'm out for a nice bimble on a Friday. I mean, I get these bikes. I love these type of bikes. They're multi-purpose. Granted, this one and this sort of genre of bike is more commuter tourer friendly. They're what I would class as an on-road dual sport. But I mean, that power pickup right there, you wouldn't even know. I mean, the power pickup, it's as if the gears are like ready to go. And again, that's probably down to the VTEC and the engine itself being an all-round sort of engine. I know we get the fans of the three cylinder, but this bike is very underrated. They're probably in competition big time with that itself. It's so responsive. Ooh, big dip in the road. I mean, even that dip, that would have shook your spine on anything older than this. It would have shook my spine on the XT as well. It has that people likability, you know. I nipped into the house there on the way to take this out on this, and I actually passed my mum on the road, and she actually said that bike looks really well. You know, it's if your mum can support you on something like that. And then the other quote was, "It's not as loud as yours," and obviously mine is obscenely loud for a reason. I know most Honda bikes now actually run the PGM F1 fuel injection, an injection. I know this way's bumpy, that's why I'm taking it. So it's got the PGM F1 fuel injection, which mine's fuel injected, but mine has issues with it. I mean, the Tracer, as far as I know, is fuel injected, if I can remember. It had a lag in it. There was a sort of, it was like pump lag, I call it. You give it a belt, and it sort of realised what you were trying to do. You don't actually hear this, but well, I don't think you can anyway. The sound of the can, I mean, Honda has upped their reputation now with this can and partnering up with Akrapovic. I mean, after 6,000, she gets that 6,000, she gets that snarl, and as soon as the VTEC kicks in, it is more of a scream after that, and it isn't an obnoxious "I'm speeding" scream. It's a commanding sound. Let me see if we can get it. You did. It was a grrr, builds up, and then yeah, go for it. I mean, I thought it would have had a bit of trouble with the wind, and it is a windy day today, and there's nothing. There's no hassle off the bike. There is no lag and anything like that there. So some wee details about this bike that not many people would probably care about, but the frame is off the VFR800 bike itself. They didn't change it. They just decided to whack it in this. They could have went with the option, well, they didn't go with the option of the high-level pipes. It wasn't for the bike, it didn't suit it, it wouldn't have suited it. You have to agree with that. Single-sided wheel. I like these wheels, I do like them. She is wrapped in some Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2s. Really nice, really giving the feedback on the bike. It is a very nice bike, I have to admit. I likes it. Some radiators in the front. Probably get some protection on that if you were to get it yourself, you know, sort of protect it. This dash, you can see it. You'll probably see it better in the video itself. It's got everything: your fuel, your rev counter, your mileage, the time, heated grips. Yep, heated grips. You've got miles per gallon, what you're doing, air temperature. So I mean, it's giving you all the details you really need for the bike. It's got a main stand too. I just figured that out. Traction control on it is really responsive. A few occasions now I've felt it coming in and saying, here, whoa, hold on a minute. I mean, the tight corners, I was actually thinking, because it is a slightly bigger bike, and tight corners aren't really my thing either. Not even to slip on that leafage. This is the best. This is the test of this. Only in Donkey's World can a test drive take a nosedive with the weather. Bike isn't giving me any jip. I think the tires that it's got on it are probably well suited for this bike. You get the standard white line squeak or scribble, and that's fine. But this has not given me. It's given me the confidence in the corners to leave it slightly later, to go in slightly earlier, even in the wet. Now, I mean, everybody knows in the wet you're a wee bit more careful. Definitely a nice sound comes off that when you. Definitely a nice sound. Yeah, I'm actually trying to find the niggly little bits that I'm trying to find, but I think that's what I get from Honda itself. Their attention to detail is so precise. Everything is looked at, everything is covered, and I think with this bike especially, I would go this before I would go Tracer. Now, I'm a Yamaha guy, and I would go here before I'd go back to Yamaha. Brake response, even after a good drenching, seems to be really well. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that the rain has decided to do one, yeah, I would highly recommend the bike. Go get it. Go take it out for a test drive out of Belfast Honda. The guys up there will work their socks off for you. Have a look around the warehouse. Tell them I sent you. Support your local dealership. But honestly, guys, these test rides wouldn't happen if users weren't interested or asking for them. So hopefully I'll see in the next couple of months what else is controversial, what's hot, what's not, and give you my opinion on them. Handles really well in the city. I actually thought a big bike like this would struggle, but again, the VTEC is the thing that everybody should have. As you can probably tell, I have had this bike out in numerous different weather conditions today, so I'm taking what was a nice clean bike and I'm taking it back dirty once again. Thank you very much to Belfast Honda. Another cracking bike. Hopefully the first of many, and hopefully this one will be clean the next time I see it.
Incoming!